A recording the audience.
Ain't my fault if your phone don't work afterwards.
Okay.
Okay.
The overuse of the internet and social media may be dumbing down our generation. I'd like to show you just how much social media is replacing how we do everything in our lives. Boy, how times have changed. I know from my personal experience, every time I'm asked a question, I tend to look it up. What happened to the days when people answered questions based off their memory? Or socialized with people face to face instead of over the internet? The internet and smartphones weren't always available. With extensive research through CQ Press and the Detroit Green Haven Press, I have found information to help open your eyes to this issue. First, I'm going to tell you about social media explosion. Second, how much information we share online isn't actually private. Last, the impact of the internet on our thinking. Social media, though more popular now, has been around for a very long time. According to an article titled Global Outbreak on Social Media by Deidre Brufonsky of the Green Haven Press in 2012, the first email was sent in 1971. The second social interaction, being in 1978, was the Blackboard. The Blackboard was a electronic system that enabled users to share media through phone lines, much like cell phones do for us today. The first social media site was Friendster. That was intended as a dating website between friends to make it more safe than dating people we didn't know. Another site, MySpace, was predominantly used by actors and musicians. And then there was Facebook, originally intended for Harvard students, and then became more popular between all the other colleges, and now it's the most popular social media website out there. Another one was LinkedIn. That was intended for business, and that's just to name a few. Social media has become a world phenomenon in less than a decade, and it tends to grow in use and popularity. So exactly how much information are we sharing online? According to an article by Marcia Clement titled Social Networking in the September 17, 2010 edition of the CQ Researcher, not everyone truly realizes how many people can see the information we post online. Even with Facebook and their privacy settings for friends-only viewing or friends of friends, more people than that can actually see it. In a study, when asking a girl who had the friends of friends setting on Facebook if she would want her mom to read anything she was posting, she quickly responded saying, "No, never." So she was a bit shocked to find out that her mom actually could see what she was posting. The fact that she was friends with her aunt and her mom was also friends with her aunt made that possible. If you have something you wouldn't want anyone else knowing, don't post it online. Try seeing your friends face to face and telling them, or sending an email. Once there was a teacher who went to a bachelorette party and decided to post some risky pictures online. Well, her boss had seen them and she was soon expelled. Now, it eventually went away and the charges were taken off of her record and she was able to teach again, though it goes to show just how much information we think is private truly is not. If you think we all have fun and we want to share our experiences with people that we know, but if you think it's going to hurt you, either now or in the future, I would think twice about posting it. Call your friends up, send an email, show pics off face to face. Have you ever looked at a site like, say, Amazon, and you were searching for a product, and then soon upon returning to Facebook, there was a suggested link on the site? It's a little unnerving. It feels like everyone's watching us. And they are. According to an article, there are even apps out there that can take your name that's been tagged in a picture on one website and link it to any other website over the internet and find any information out about you. this wouldn't be possible if we decided to do things more face-to-face than online. The overuse of the internet and social media is really hurting the way that we think. According to an article written by Alan Greenblatt titled Impact of the Internet on Our Thinking on September 24th, 2010, through the CQ researcher, the internet has become the primary outlet for entertainment and social convention. The visual stimulus and constant distraction may be altering mechanics of our long-term memory. The debate over whether it's actually affecting our brains has been a long-going debate. Most believe that it has no effect at all, though journalist Nicholas Carr, author of Is Google Making Us Stupid?, believes that internet does in fact affect our brains. On the other side of the argument, Jonah Lehrer, author of How We Decide, argues that Carr's statements are not valid, though he can admit that we do need to set down our phones every once in a while. Some studies show that people believe that the internet makes it easier for us to find information, so we don't have to memorize so much of it. But they still argue that it has no effect on our brains. Let's ask ourselves, if it has no effect, then why is it things that people used to have to remember, we find ourselves having to look up? Things such as birthdays, phone numbers, important historic events, and so on. Our youth spend so much time on the internet and playing video games. What happened to going outside and playing and using our minds and our imaginations to play pretend? Some kids even have their own cell phones these days. With obesity being such a big problem in America, why don't we send our kids out to play more instead of spending so much time over social media? We should spend less time consumed in social media and more time outdoors, exercising, or reading, anything to enhance our minds and our lives. There may not ever be enough hard evidence to prove that the internet is affecting our brains, but I think we can all agree that it is affecting us in many other areas of our lives. We miss so many memorable moments and interactions with the ones that we love, staying so hooked to our phones and televisions and computers. So, first we talked about the history of social media, then about how much of what we think is private really isn't. And then last, we talked about the internet and the effects on our thinking. I challenge you to spend less time consumed in social media and more time face-to-face with the ones you love. Instead of posting about the fun experience that you're having, try enjoying the fun experiences that you're having. Live in the moment. I enjoyed learning more on this issue that I felt has been a problem for a very long time. I know I'm going to try to remove myself from social media and technology, so I hope that you choose to do the same. Thank you for your time. Adios.